Happy Sunday. It is day 21. I've made it another day, y'all. I've been consistent for 21 days in a row. I'm telling you, you may not be proud of me. I am proud of me because showing up is 90% of the battle. That's in anything in life. Always remember that. Okay, today what are we discussing? Today we're talking about one of our favorite topics, right? AI and how it's affecting jobs. Now, every job that got cut in the last 18 months had a person attached to it who thought they were the safe one. Not the risky one, the safe one. They had benefits, direct deposit. 15 years in, the one everybody at the family cookout pointed to and said, "There's the golden girl, she's set." Between January of last year and June of this year, United States employers announced more than 156,000 job cuts and named specifically artificial intelligence as the reason. Not a rumor, not a prediction. Their own words in their own announcements tracked by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. And you say, Z, who the hell is that? I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you who they are because I want you to be able to defend the number if you ever happen to be discussing this over, like, say, a coffee, right? Okay, so Challenger, Gray, and Christmas is a Chicago firm that has been around since 1966, and their actual business is helping laid off employees find new work and coaching executives through transitions. The layoff data is a side effect of that. Every month since the 90s, they've published a job cut announcement report. Every publicly announced job cut in the United States sorted by industry, by state, and here's the best part, by the reason the employer gave. They only added artificial intelligence as a tracked reason since 2023. That's why these numbers don't go back any further than that. And I want to be precise about what it measures. These are announcements, what companies said they intended to cut. Some of that gets scaled back or quietly absorbed. The Bureau of Labor Statistics measures what actually happened, but it reports much later, and it doesn't break down anything by the reason the employer gave. So nobody in the government does. The gap is exactly why this firm gets quoted in just about every headline you may have seen. And here is the part that nobody wants to say out loud. The ones who got cut did nothing wrong. Surprise, surprise, quelle surprise. That's what makes this different. You can't outwork it. You can't outloyal it. There is no performance review that saves you from being a line item. So let's talk about what actually holds when the safe thing stops being safe, and it will. So if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This is Sit, Speak Your Truth. I'm Z. And I left a 13-year career in government and relocated from the United States to Panama. And I am learning to build my own income online now, on my own terms, on my own schedule. So this channel is for the woman who was doing it by herself. You're single, divorced, widowed, or just standing in that season where nobody is coming to help you split the bill. You're in your solo season. And if that's you, you're in the right place. And this video is made specifically just for you. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do because I'm not going to spend 12 minutes scaring us and then get cute about the solution. I don't operate like that. I sell digital products, my own included, but I started selling digital products online through a program called Legacy Builders. It is created by a self-made millionaire, Michelle O'Neill. I did not build it, but I did buy it and the rights to sell it. And I built and am building my own business around it now. So it's a done-for-you program, system. The products already exist. The system already exists. The community is over 60,000 members deep. What I brought to it was my own voice and my own reason for wanting to build something of my own. And the reason I want to sit with the AI conversation today is because Legacy Builders sits on the exact side of that thing that's breaking. It isn't a job. Nobody can restructure it. There's no headcount line to cut. There's no manager reading a slide deck about efficiencies, deciding whether we stay or whether we go. So if you want to know more, the link is in the description below. But stay with me because the why always matters more than anything else. So let me give it to you clean because I don't do inflated numbers here. In all of 2025, employers cited AI for 54,836 announced job cuts. Then 2026 arrived, and by the end of June, 6 months, not 12, that number was 101,743, roughly 3% of every layoff announced this year. Do the math, add it up, 18 months, over 156,000 jobs lost. Here's the shape of it though, because the shape is scarier than the total. In January, AI was the reason behind 7% of cuts. By May, it was almost 40%. In June, artificial intelligence was the single most cited reason employers gave for cutting jobs, more than the economy, more than the closures, more than anything else. 7% to the number one reason in just 5 months. That's how quickly this thing is moving. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, the way I'd want somebody to be honest with me. That number is announced cuts, where the company names specifically AI. It is not a certified count of jobs that a robot took. Some serious economists think companies are hiding ordinary belt tightening behind a shinier word because we're restructuring for AI sounds like a vision, and we overhired sounds like a mistake. In any event, sit with what that means for us. If it is true that AI is doing the cutting, we're not safe. And if it's true that AI is just the excuse for the cutting, guess what? We're still not safe. Either way, the job went away, and guess what? Your mortgage did not. That's the truth I want us to speak today. We were never actually secure. We were just comfortable. And we confused the two because everybody around us did the same thing. And this isn't only about layoffs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, the government's own numbers, now projects employment for computer programmers, listen to this, to decline 6% over the coming decade. And they name AI automating repetitive tasks as the reason. That's not a headline. That's the government writing down in advance, hasn't happened yet, in advance, that a skilled profession is going to shrink over the coming decade. And honestly, it'll probably shrink quicker than that. Now, I want to name something because, I lived it. When you're doing this alone, a layoff isn't a setback. It's a countdown. There's no second income that is going to absorb the hit. There is no, we'll be fine. We've got yours. There's you, the balance, and the number of weeks it covers. I know women who can tell you that number to the day. So we did what we were taught. We were told, be reliable, be the one who never calls out, get the certifications, stay long enough to become vested, don't be difficult. And when we did, we were excellent at a plan that was handed to us, a plan that assumed the company would still be honoring its end in 20 years. We weren't lazy. We weren't naive. We were handed a bad plan and we executed it beautifully. And the cruelest part is the timing. This is landing on us in the exact decade we were told to coast, when we were supposed to be catching our breath, not starting over. But I need you to hear the flip side, and I need you to actually let it in. The plan being broken is not the same as us being broken. The plan expired. We didn't. The women I watch move fastest right now are the ones who stopped waiting for the old thing to come back. Not because they were fearless, because they got tired of refreshing a job and refreshing a job board and calling it some sort of a strategy. That's not strategy, sweetie. That's just being inefficient with your time. So what actually holds? Here's what I've come to understand. AI is extraordinary at the middle of a process. It drafts, it sorts, it summarizes, it replies, it schedules. Anywhere a human was sitting between a request and an output, that seat is now getting squeezed. But AI cannot own anything. It cannot be the person that a woman trusts. It cannot hold the asset, right? That's the whole distinction. Not skilled versus unskilled, not tech versus non-tech, renting your house versus owning something that sells. When you own a digital product, there's no head count. There's no performance review. Nobody sends you an email at 4:50 on a Friday. The product doesn't get more expensive to make when more people buy it. And nobody, not a manager, not a board, not a model, decides whether you're still in the picture or not. That's not a hack. It's just a different structure. And it's the reason a program like Legacy Builders keeps working while the traditional path keeps narrowing. The products are already built. The system is already built. The over 60,000 member community is already there. What it needs from you is your voice, your story, and your reason for wanting out. And I'll say the quiet thing plainly. The fact that AI is coming for the middle of the process work is why something like this is possible for us now. The same tools cutting those jobs are the reason one woman with a laptop can run something that used to take a team and a budget. That door is open right now. It won't feel this open forever. It will not. I'm not selling you calm. I don't do that. This is not passive. You will not touch a link tonight and wake up free. You have to show up. You have to learn the system. You have to speak publicly, repeatedly, before you feel ready. Most of the discomfort isn't technical. It's being seen while you're still a beginner. And I get that through and through, and it's okay. But compare the two risks honestly, because we keep grading them on different curves. Building something of your own is uncomfortable, and staying where you are is uncertain. We keep choosing uncertain because it's familiar and calling that the responsible choice. It is not. Not anymore. Not with AI going from 7% to the number one reason in 5 months. The women who will be okay in 3 years are the ones who started building while they still had a paycheck to build on top of. And that's the truth. Not the ones who waited for the announcement to come. Waiting will get you nowhere fast. And I'll mention this because it comes up in my comments often. When income stops being tied to a location, everything downstream of it opens up too. That's how I ended up in Panama. Lower cost of living, a nice ocean, a life that doesn't require me to earn a U.S. salary to afford it. For a lot of us, that's the actual math. It's not just making more, but needing less. If that thought lit something up within you, I created through the grace of Legacy Builders and learning the skills and the system therein, I learned how to build my own digital products. I have a free relocation checklist, which is in the description below. And if you are further along than curious, and if you are at a point where you need an exit and you need a timeline, I created a 120-day emergency exit relocation guide, which is the plan I wish somebody would have handed me before I did it the hard way and did all the work. If you're looking for something like that, where you're ready to go and you just need like some guidelines on how to get there, my guide is also in the description below. So let me leave you with this. 156,000 jobs cut in 18 months with AI written on the paperwork. Every one of them belonged to somebody who thought there was more time. We don't get to control that number. We do get to decide whether we're still standing on a rug that somebody else can pull. So here's one small thing today. Not a leap, just one small step. I want you to go into the comments and comment my truth. And I'm going to personally send you the blueprint, okay? We are done being told to be grateful for something that was never guaranteed. Somebody needed to hear that today. And if it was you, I'm glad you stayed till the very end. And as always, I'm sending you much love. I thank you for sticking around and coming back to day 21. I will be back tomorrow with day 22. And all I ask today, other than to put a comment, my truth below, so I can get you the information, I want you to just to remember to keep speaking your truth. Because once we become honest with ourselves, right, that's when we can start to really learn and grow and build. So until tomorrow, lovelies, thank you so much. I love you so much. Take good care, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 22. Much love. Ciao.